Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Had a really fun live stream last night with Coach Jay with the X Factor. Man, I plan to jump on here, talk a little Tennessee football for about an hour or so. We went well over an hour and a half. Some great conversation. If you missed that live stream, go back, give it a watch. Go look under the live tab. You can check out that show. Just good conversation. And one of the conversations, one of the talking points was this tweet from JD Piquel. We went and watched the video. He says college football teams set up for the most success for the next 3 years. He's got Tennessee listed in that group of teams set up for the next 3 years. Why is that? Well, the video kind of goes through the trust in Josh Heupel. They've won a lot of ball games since Josh Heupel took over at Tennessee. 11 wins in 22, 9 wins, 10 wins. And you look at the coaches previous to Josh Heupel, nobody else was doing that. You got to go all the way back to Philip Fulmer. And again, why is that? Well, recruiting keeps trending up. Right now in the class of 2026, Tennessee currently sitting at 7th. That makes them 4th in the SEC. Is that good enough? No, but we are trending in the right direction. That is the key. You know, I've talked a lot about the blue chip ratio. The first class that Josh Heupel signed, 31% of those guys were blue chip prospects. We know what Ohio State had to go win a national championship. Tennessee's got to continue to trend in that direction. The class of 2025, Josh Heupel finished with a 62% blue chip ratio. Now, he talked about quarterback position, right? We all thought Nico was going to be the guy, and maybe he is. His story is not finished. His 2024 campaign is not the end of the road for Nico. But it may not be Nico. He may not be that guy that gets us that SEC championship. He may not be that guy that brings us a national championship. But when you are stacking quarterbacks, you are setting yourself up for the possibility of success. Nico, Merklinger, George McIntyre. You got Faison Brandon committed in the class of 26. And then we talked about the evolution of recruiting. The top 2 recruits this past cycle, one was on the offensive line, one was on the defensive line. You win in the trenches. You win with quarterback play, and Josh Heupel is rebuilding this roster and, again, trending in the right direction. Now, I take all of that to say this. I was reading an article over at VolQuest from Matt Ray, and he was talking about recruiting, and he talked about, this is what the article said Tennessee has landed 2 5-star prospects in each of the last 3 cycles. Again, you got to go back a while. Butch Jones was able to recruit some pretty good talent, had no idea how to coach it, but Derek Dooley, Jeremy Pruitt, they did not recruit at an elite level. Josh Heupel is starting to do that. Again, that doesn't mean we can't improve and continue to get better. 2 5-star prospects each of the last 3 cycles, going back to the 2023 cycle, but they have not yet added multiple 5 stars to one side of the football in this class. Matt Ray went on to talk about the offensive side of the ball. Again, you've already got Faison Brandon committed, 5-star quarterback, number 1 player in the country, according to 247 Sports. Can they add another 5-star prospect on the offensive side of the ball? Got a couple of targets here that we've talked a lot about. Tristan Keys, 5-star wide receiver, 6'2", 185 pounds, out of the state of Mississippi. He's a top 10 guy, number 7 ranked player in the country. Tennessee considered to be the leader for the 5-star wide receivers. He is starting to slow things down, wants to go through the process. It's Tennessee, it's Texas A&M, it's Alabama. We've talked a lot about him. Tennessee has a legitimate shot to add Tristan Keys. Got a great relationship with Faison Brandon. How much does that factor into it? We've also talked about the number 1 running back in the country, Savion Hyder, 21st best player in the country, out of Mineral, Virginia, 5'11", 190 pounds. Made a video on him talking about him taking an official visit to Tennessee. He will officially visit Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, and then on June the 19th through the 22nd, he will take an official visit to Tennessee. He also plans to visit on April the 5th for an unofficial during spring camp. Michigan, Georgia at the top, Tennessee also in the mix there. So can you add Tristan Keys with Faison Brandon? Can you add the number 1 running back in the country with Faison Brandon? Also, there is a player on the offensive line that we have not talked about. I want to get into it. Can Tennessee add an elite offensive tackle to this class of 2026? Before we do that, you guys already know the deal. I need you to do that YouTube stuff for me. Smash the thumbs up down here below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel, and I would appreciate it. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you guys are, for the fans, by the fans. We are fans talking Tennessee football every single day of the year. If you like it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live, when we drop a video. Again, fun live stream last night. We're going to do a watch party next week, either baseball, basketball, I have not decided yet. And then I'm live every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, playing EA Sports College Football, maybe going head-to-head with you guys. By the way, come check out, go look in the links down below. You can join the Patreon. You can come play in our Talkin VAWLS online dynasty. Having so much fun with that. But again, come hang out Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. But let's talk about an offensive lineman that Matt Ray mentioned in his article when he was talking about the potential of signing multiple 5-stars on one side of the ball in the class of 2026. And he mentioned John Turntine. Now, you may look on the screen and go, what's Boogie talking about? Another 5-star. Why are you talking about 5 stars? It says 4-star offensive tackle. 4-star offensive tackle, 6'3", 260 out of Fort Worth, Texas. But if you look at his rankings, right? 17th best player in the country, number 3 ranked offensive tackle, 2nd best player out of the state of Texas. As long as his ranking holds up, if he stays where he's at, as long as his senior season goes the way he wants it to go, John Turntine's going to be a 5-star prospect because, again, they only give out so many 5 stars. If you're ranked inside the top 20, you are going to be a 5-star prospect. So where is Tennessee at with him? Well, we can go back to January, and we can take a look at this tweet right here where he drops out his top 10. You can see there in the list, it's Michigan, Ohio State, Texas, Stanford, Georgia, Oregon, Texas A&M, Missouri, SMU, and Tennessee. Now, what type of ball player is he? Scouting report from 247 Sports, Gabe Brooks says big-bodied offensive lineman who could potentially provide roster flexibility and multi-positional value. Tackle experience with the length to play outside, but the mass and play style of an interior mauler. Said mixed testing data are not as much the mass and play style of an interior mauler. Mixed testing data give concern given outstanding functional athleticism in pads. Absolute bull as a puller. Displays excellent foot quickness and get off twitch. Sophomore season reveled better pass blocking context and the most of the other linemen in the 24 cycle. Owns strong multi-sport context with a 48-11 sophomore shot put and 141-2 freshman discus. Sudden power manifests in pads, still honing technique, enhanced placement consistency, as well as balance and body control. Ultimate positional home is to be determined, but likely the type of offensive line prospect who could fit inside or outside. Projects to the high major level as a potential multi-year difference maker with long-term NFL upside. Again, that is the scouting report that I butchered to get through from Gabe Brooks over at 247 Sports. Now, how serious is this? Is Tennessee in the mix here? He was in town back for Junior Day on January the 25th. You guys know that's how this plays out, right? They cut their list, top 12, top 10, top 8. They take unofficial visits throughout the course of January, February. You try to get them back on campus for the spring practices and then get those officials throughout the course of the summer and see if you can lock up a commitment before they head into their senior year. So he was in town, showed the interest to come in town on January the 25th. This is the quote coming out of the visit. Said, today I had a great time. Said the hospitality was amazing. I love the culture straight off as soon as I got here. Coaches took the time out of their day to come spend time with me and my family, and I just had a great time. I will definitely be back when official visit time comes. It was more than I expected. Honestly, I've heard great things about Tennessee, and seeing how welcoming they are was really something. Now, as far as the official visit goes, he is going to take an official visit to Tennessee. That has been confirmed. As of right now, if you go look at 247 Sports, it shows that he's going to take an official visit to Tennessee on June the 13th. Also has one booked for Texas A&M on June the 5th. We'll continue to watch, see where else he ends up. Now, Matt Ray of VolQuest.com put an update out after the unofficial visit back in January, said Tennessee got John Turntine to town, and they impressed the elite offensive lineman. It will be a hard pull out of Texas, but in my opinion, this visit went very well. He is planning to take an official, and Tennessee's offense is a big deal to him. So what do you think? Can Tennessee add 2 5-star players on one side of the ball? Again, offensive lineman, defensive lineman in this last class. You had Nico, you had Mike Matthews, you've had 5 stars. Josh Heupel is building a solid foundation of talent, but you got to continue to progress, right? That's something that J.D. Piquel said. He said, you continue to trend up with Josh Heupel in recruiting, but can Tennessee add a couple on the same side of the ball? Can you pair somebody? Can you pair Tristan Keys? Can you pair a Savion Hyder with Faison Brandon? Or can you go at an elite offensive lineman like John Turntine? What are your thoughts? A lot to unpack there. Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. I would appreciate it. You can think about hitting that join button down below. Financially support the channel for just $1 a month. We would greatly appreciate it. You can also support the channel by picking up the merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. All the links are in the description below, but if not, just hit that thumbs up because that's free and it's easy and it helps the channel. Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.